Battle of the ISOtunes. And more coming up. Hi there and welcome to WB Fun Woodworking. I'm Don. Today I thought I would review the two ISOtunes hearing protection devices that I have here in my shop. The first one I have is the earbuds. This is the ISOtunes Pro 2 version. I bought them when they first came out, so I've had them for quite a while. And then recently they introduced the ISOtunes Link, which is over-the-ear earmuffs. So I have both of these in my shop and I've used both of them. So I thought this review would be helpful to some of you that are trying to figure out if you'd like to get one or the other, or in this case, have both. As a little aside here, I thought I'd include some charts so that you understand the noise levels that you're dealing with in your shop. So here are some charts that might explain that a little better than I can. The first chart is how to look at noise. It compares noise intensity to unprotected exposure limit based on the NIOSH recommended permissible exposure time. The next chart divides noise up into four basic categories from very low hearing range up to an extremely loud hearing range. That comfortable hearing range is what we like to listen to most of the time. This next chart is noise levels for common carpentry tools or woodworking tools. Notice that all of these tools are above the 2-hour limit on the NIOSH scale. Where do the tools that you usually use in your shop fall on this chart? Fortunately for me, most of mine are towards the bottom. Here in the shop, I use my Amazon Echo to listen to music. I'm a Prime member of Amazon here in the United States, and that gives me a wide variety of music that I can listen to for free. So what I've done is I've created a list of music on Amazon of things that I love to listen to. It's about 3 hours long, so I have plenty of music to listen to out here in the shop. I can shuffle that list so it's not the same list over and over and over again. So I've been able to pair both of these with my Amazon Echo, and that's been great for listening to music out here in the shop. Let's start off with the Pro 2 version of their earplugs. I prefer the ones like this that have a wire connecting them. Some people prefer the ones that just stick in your ear. This is the ISOtunes Pro 2 version. The carrying case comes with them along with these earplugs that are designed to block out noise in your shop. More about these later in the video. The Pro 2 also comes with these earplugs that are meant more for comfort, so they can be worn for a long period of time. These do not block out the noise. ISOtunes claims that this is a redesigned product that meets the needs of their toughest professional customers. And I can understand that. It's very well made. Now let's look at the specs for this ISOtunes Pro 2 version. The ISOtunes Pro 2 have up to 16 hours of runtime on a charge. They're ANSI certified at 27 dB noise reduction rating. They're OSHA compliant. Safe max 85 decibels volume control limit. IP67 dust, water, and sweat proof. Noise isolating microphone for clear calls in loud environments. And Bluetooth 5 compatible. These are the ear protection foam pads that go in the ears, and they have multiple sizes, and you can see they're color coordinated. These do wear out, so they have to be replaced on a fairly regular basis. In fact, you can see with this one, I've pushed the piece of plastic all the way down into it. These were the ones I was wearing for a while and they just weren't working very well. and so I moved up to the larger blue ones, and they work a little better for me. Now, as part of the review, I thought I'd mention a few things that I've noticed that can be a problem. The earplugs screw on to the device, and that's really nice. They screw off and they screw on, and it's doing it very nicely for me right now, but I've noticed that these do fall off sometimes. And I have had to search for them a few times on the floor in my shop. So that's something that I'm not real happy about. The other thing is they mentioned that these wonderful buttons here are easy to feel when it's around your neck, but I haven't found that to be really that true. And so when I'm pairing this up with my device that I use it for to listen to music, I can't really feel that. And I can't see the little LED that's right here that's supposed to be flashing red and blue when it's ready to hook up to my device. So I usually have to hold it in my hand like this and look at it, and now it's blinking back and forth red and blue. So it's ready to pair up. In fact, it just paired with my Echo. The biggest issue I've had with these earplugs in my shop is when I'm sanding and I have my Festool CT running at the same time, I cannot hear the music. It's really not very loud at all. And the noise from the vacuum is very much louder than it should be. Last year when we decided to upgrade Pam's iPhone, we also decided to get me an Apple Watch. And one of the apps is a noise meter. And I'm finding that's very handy out in the shop. When I turn on my CT22 dust extractor or vacuum, it registers 80 decibels, which is in that safe range from the charts that we saw earlier. Just turning on my Festool sander sends the decibels up to 89, which is in the loud range. When I'm actually sanding and applying some pressure to the sander, it jumps up to 93. I've seen it go as high as 95. I even have to wear earphones on top of these to block out the sound so that I can hear the music and block out all the noise that I need to block out. I had to do the same thing after I hooked my Festool CT up to my Craig pocket hole jig. Another place I use my CT dust extractor is at my lathe when I have the Rockler unit attached to it. Here I was having trouble hearing the music as well. In my opinion, that shouldn't be happening. These should be able to block out my Festool CT. Since the ISOtunes earplugs were not blocking out my CT vacuum when I was sanding, I decided to go ahead and buy the new ISOtunes Link Earmuffs, and these have worked. According to ISOtunes, these are earmuffs done right. Perfect for the worker who prefers over-the-ear hearing protection but refuses to compromise on their listening experience. And I have to agree with that. Now for the specs for these. The ISOtunes Links have up to 14 hours runtime on a charge with a lithium-ion battery, up to 28 hours runtime on AAA batteries. They're ANSI certified at 25 decibels noise reduction rating. They're OSHA compliant. They have a safe max 85 decibels volume limit. They're IPX4 sweat and water resistance. Noise isolating microphone for clear calls in loud environments. And they're Bluetooth 4.2 compatible. The ear pads on these are memory foam, and I've found them to be very comfortable. I've been able to keep them on for quite a long time here in the shop. One thing that might be nice for some of you is that these are Google and Siri voice control compatible. Unfortunately, since I use Alexa, they're not compatible with Alexa. This is a close-up of the ISOtunes links. On this side over here, they have the buttons, and these control the on and off, fast rewind, fast forward, raise volume, lower volume. Now, unlike the ISOtunes Pro 2, these buttons are not tactile. I cannot feel anything raised here. That would be nice, especially for the volume knob. That way I could raise and lower my volume. Since I have these hooked up to my Alexa, I just tell Alexa to raise and lower the volume. The large button with the circle on it in the center is also the button that's used for pairing. So it's easy to pair this device. I can feel that large button with my fingers. The other side is where the batteries are. If I flip this up, easier said than done, there we go. This is the battery pack. And again, this battery pack is changeable. I could change it out and put a new one in there if this one wears out, which you can't do on the Pro 2 version. And it's also set up so that this battery pack can be taken out and batteries, regular batteries, can be put in there instead. So that's a really nice feature that they included on these ISOtunes. I thought it was kind of interesting that they have these rubber flaps on the bottom of both of the ear cups. This one over here, there's nothing there, but over here's where it's recharged. Here are the differences that I noticed in the specifications for these two devices. Obviously, the runtime is different, especially if you use AAA batteries. The fact that the lithium-ion battery is replaceable is wonderful. The ANSI certification is a little different. It's 27 for the ISOtunes Pro 2, and for the Links, it's 25 decibels. There's also a difference in the protection that these devices have from the environment around them in the workshop. As shown here, they have different ratings. Now, one thing I noticed between this and the Pro 2 is that they don't claim any dust resistance. And so in a workshop, that might be a problem. The biggest difference I notice is that the ISOtunes Pro 2 say proof and the Links say resistance. There's also a difference in the Bluetooth compatibility. This shouldn't be a real big problem, but it might be a problem for some cases. In case you're wondering, ISOtunes are made by Haven Technologies, which is a small family business that was established in 2016. They're located in Carmel, Indiana. I really like supporting small businesses, especially those that are family-owned. So in summation, do I like the ISOtunes hearing protectors? And yes, I do. These links that I just recently got are going to be great when I use something that's very loud in the shop. That CT vac especially. But things like working at the lathe and drill press and bandsaw, these will be perfect. That is, as long as I don't add any dust collection to my bandsaw or my drill press. These will be especially helpful at the lathe because at the lathe I like to hear what the sound of the tool is making, so the earmuffs would block out way too much of the sound. These earbuds are still going to be very good for everyday work here in the workshop. When I'm video recording something, I can't have a speaker blasting in the background because YouTube will give me a copyright strike. So I can wear these and still be listening to music and still be recording at the same time. I know some of you don't listen to music in your shops like I do, but you do listen to things like podcasts. These units will hook up with just about any device. If you have any questions, ISOtunes has a great customer service department and they'll get right back to you. They'll even have you call them on the phone or they'll call you and talk things over. So who wins the battle in my shop between the earplugs and the headphones? So if you look at just the numbers, the earplugs do have a higher rating than the earmuffs. So don't take my word on it that these are better for noise protection. All I'm saying is that I can hear the music through these better than I can hear the music through these, and the noise rating for the two is very close. So as usual, if you like this video, please give me that thumbs up down below. Ask any questions, make comments, share the video with others. I'm sure there's some others that would like to have something like ISOtunes in their workshop. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe today. Most of you that watch these videos haven't subscribed. And if you do subscribe, you can ring that notification bell so that you know when I put out some videos. And thank you all very much for watching. Here are a couple of videos that you might be interested in, and hit that logo there to subscribe to our channel.